Hi guys, welcome to this episode. Today I'm going to do a tutorial on focus points on the Canon 7D. Remember, I've launched a competition to give one of these away once I get up to 10,000 subscribers. All you need to do is answer the question, when was the Canon 7D launched? And just inbox me through the channel and I will collect your details. And once I hit 10,000, I will be giving away one of these cameras to one of the lucky winners. So do enter and do subscribe and do hit the bell button. Thank you for all the people that have been watching my channel as well. I appreciate the comments. They're all helpful to improve the channel and to give it a little bit more dynamic viewpoint on cameras. So today I'm going to be talking about focus points. So I'm in manual mode. So I'm in manual mode at the moment, and I've switched on the camera, and I'm just going to go to my Q button. So I'm going to click on Q button, and then here I've got some settings that I can play around with. Now the focus point is basically that one there. So if you click on this icon, it will take you to your focus points, and all you need to do is really just pivot through. So at the moment I am on one focus point shootings, which is that one there. So it's like AF autofocus, one focal point. So if you're doing like a portrait, this one's useful. You might want to sort of just focus onto the eye with that point, and this one allows you to choose the points and move them and pivot them around like this with your toggle thing over here, and you can sort of move it around and select the focus point that you want. So if I bring this a bit nearer, there we go. If I bring this a bit nearer, and if I just sort of show you like this, there we go. And let me just focus that in for you as well. Again, if I go back to my menu, go back to Q button, sorry, go back to Q button, and so I've got my focus point here, and if I sort of use the wheel up at the top, which is the one I'm referring to, is this one here. So if I move that like so again, if I bring that up, I can change the focus point. So in these cameras you've got different focal points. You've got manual select spot autofocus, you've got manual select single point autofocus, you've got select expansion focus points, and you've got manual select zonal autofocus. So I'll tell you what these things are. So the first one I'll go through is manual zonal selective zonal focus. So this basically allows you to select certain areas within your zonal focus point. So if I go back to my menu, so my Q button, select that. So for example, if you've got, like, say, portraits and you've got a group of people in a subject, you might want to, and they're sort of positioned, some people at front, some people at the back. You might want, see the way my hands are sort of getting out of focus and the back is focused? You might want that sort of thing to happen with your photographs or your filming. So if you can just basically select certain areas within your frame to be in focus or out of focus, but obviously the distance makes a difference to how that might pivot and play out. So that's quite useful when you want certain parts to be in focus. Now, obviously, there's more focal points being selected. Therefore, a lot more area will be in focus because of the fact that you've got a lot more focus points selected. Okay, so that's that one. Let's go to the next one. So the next one is, again, if I click on my now this kind of annoys me a little bit. I have to click on the Q button and I have to select it like this. So if I select the next one, which will be this one, again, go back to my menu. Now this one is a zonal focus point. So basically, you've got a point, like one focal point, and then it expands it around it. So for example, you've got I'm filming this, but I also want this to be in focus and all these other areas. I might select this, and this will allow me to have an expandable focus area. Okay, so useful again. So if I go back to Q button again, select the next one, which is single focus, and this is quite straightforward. You just select single focus points. This is useful for like a singular object that you might be photographing. You really want that in focus. This is useful for portraiture as well, but you need to really select it so it's make sure that it's selected to the eye. You know, whenever you're taking sort of portrait photographs, you want to make sure that the focal point is specifically assigned to the eye. Okay, just remember that as a tip, shall I say. The next one I want to show you is auto. Now, auto is basically auto. It is what it is. It doesn't have any. It doesn't have any focal points in the middle, because when you press the trigger or half press the trigger, the camera will automatically configure which parts of the frame that it wants to focus in. So that's quite useful if you don't really want to do the legwork with the other four. It's got 19 focus points, which is quite low these days. Some cameras have like 60, 70, 100 focus points these days. So it's, you know, relatively quite low in terms of focal points. But it's still pretty good. And it does do a pretty decent job in focusing into imagery. Okay, so the other thing I was going to show you is see my viewfinder. Now I'm going to have to sort of kind of pivot my camera a little bit up, to tell you the truth. If I bring this a bit forward, and I know I'm a bit out of focus, so we'll try to get this in focus for you. There we go, let's try that. So if you click on this button here, you can actually also see your focus points through your viewfinder. So let me try that out. So is that going to work? Oh, I can't really see that, Tatri. Let me try to focus in. So, okay, so I am shooting with a DSLR, so I'm just going to focus in, and I'm going to try to focus into this area here. Let's see if that works. Okay, no, it's not working. There we go. Now, if I click on this button here, you can also see. I don't know if you can see it, but you can also see that your camera, you can use your focus points within your viewfinder. Now basically how that works is you click on this icon here, and then you can pivot through your focus points through here as well. Okay, now I tend to use this more than the menu. The reason why I tend to use that is because I'm looking through my viewfinder quite extensively in order to get the right correct focus points. Now it's very difficult for me to demonstrate that because I'm kind of holding a SLR. I'm doing this on my own, and I'm holding an SLR while I'm trying to get that in focus. This over here in focus. Okay, but basically you click on this and you use your wheel here, and then you can sort of pivot through the different focus points here as opposed to here. You'll find that is more useful in your shooting, because when you're shooting, you're looking through the viewfinder, and you're trying to get the right kind of like focus points for your shot, or if that makes sense. Okay, guys, so that's focus points. I did go off a little bit of track there, to tell you the truth, but if you've got any questions, please do post. Happy to respond, and obviously enter the competition. Once I get up to 10,000. I'll be looking to give away for one of these Canon 7Ds. Alright, thanks for watching. Thank you. Bye bye.